Hi folks, okay, in this video we're going to be looking at the lottery odds. They were released yesterday. I'm not sure if you folks seen it yet, but if you have, let's discuss them. Let's go over them. Coming up. All right, let's take a look at this because I was a little disappointed. I'm not sure about you guys, but I guess it is what it is. I mean, we're still number one, but I'll get on this side and let you guys. All right, look, the original odds last year for number one was 18.5. Now they're 16.6. So yeah, the Sabres got screwed 1.9% in this freaking new. I wasn't impressed, believe me. And then number two is 13.5. Now is 12.1. So they lose 1.4%. Number three, Seattle, is 11.5. This year it's 10.3. I think that would only be for this year they're going to do this, though. I'm pretty sure. And number four, New Jersey, is 10.3 this year, and it was 9.5 last year. So it's weird. Like number four kind of went up, kind of. And then these guys also kind of took a mini hit. The way I'm looking at it is like they've got it figured out that not to encourage last overall, I guess, you know. But now don't forget, guys, there's 16 teams in the lottery. So we knew the odds were going to change a few points. I just didn't think it would be number one that's affected the worst. You know, I didn't think they would do that. I honestly didn't. I thought they would just do percentages, but no. Number one took the biggest hit in this new thing. But hey, we still have the best odds, you know? I'm just saying. Now, let's take a look at this. So we got 16.6. Anaheim has 12.1. So we have a 4.5% gap over them. Not 5 anymore, 4.5. Then Seattle and New Jersey have 10.3. Now Seattle, of course, they're going to make sure that they're number 3, no matter what, because the expansion thing, right? So 10.3, 10.3. Then we got Columbus 8.5, Detroit 7.6, San Jose 6.7, LA 5.8, and then it really starts to drop after Vancouver. Vancouver 5.4, and take a look at this: Ottawa 4.5, Arizona 3.1, Chicago 2.7, Calgary 2.2, Philly 1.8, Dallas 1.4, and the Rangers 1%. So now, when you look at this, again, I mean, if it's the same exact thing as before, guys. I mean, you know, the odds are, our best odds is we're going to get number 3. That's our best odds. So, but the 4.5 thing kind of was alarming. Why does, you know, I don't know. I just don't get why number 1 had to take such a hit, but and number 2, you know, they want to have less odds up here, more down, spread out. But anyway, it is what it is. Buffalo still have the best odds. Now, here's the thing I found really interesting about next year. I'm not going to go on very long with this video either. I just wanted to get a few videos up this morning. Next year, this is very interesting, actually. I found this interesting. The way they're going to run it next year, it's going to be the same thing as this, okay? Just so you know, when you read it, you know, they're kind of like lawyers, NHL.com. They word their things very tricky, okay? And what it's a 16-team lottery now. Let's keep that in mind. It's not 15 teams anymore. It's 16 in the lottery, you know? Okay, so next year, the first lottery. So let's say we're drafting for number 1. We're in 2022 right now, guys. We're drafting for number 1, okay? Teams can only move up 10 spots. So only top 11 qualify to get number 1. You got it? So that means these guys down here, hypothetically, if we were in 2022, do not qualify for number 1. So if we were Buffalo and these rules applied this year, we would really, really, really want 2 of these teams to win the lottery, you know, because then we're safe at number 1. So, yeah, that's the way it's going to work next year. Only these guys, okay? Only these guys have a shot at number 1 next year. Number 1 to number 11. not number 12 to 16. They're exempt. They're not in it. Then the second lottery, all right, so that would be for the number 1 lottery. Now, for the number 2 lottery, bottom 12 teams qualify for number 2 if none of them have won lottery number 1. And people say, well, what the hell does that mean? And yeah, I agree. You know, the way they word things, the NHL, you got to watch them. They're sneaky. Bottom 12 teams qualify for number 2. So all these guys, okay, the bottom 12 qualify for number 2 if none of them have won the lottery. So what does that mean? That means they qualify if one of these teams, 2, 3, or 4, get number 1. You get it? That's if none of them have won the lottery. Some people say, okay, so if nobody won the lottery, that means everybody qualifies for the second one, provided one of these 3 here, Anaheim, Seattle, Jersey. Not this year. Pretend it's 2022. Bear with me. So one of these 3 teams, let's say, has overtaken Buffalo. Let's say New Jersey. Let's say New Jersey's done it. Now these guys qualify because number 1's already been taken by one of the top teams. And that means now everybody qualifies for the number 2 position in the next lottery draft. Well, the next lottery that they're going to do like 10 minutes after they've done the first one, you know? That's how that'll work, just so you know. Which is fair. You know, I like the idea that who's ever dead last overall next year does not have to worry at least about 5 teams jumping over them. You know what I mean? So if one of these 5 teams wins a lottery, which can happen, right? It can happen. If one of these 5 teams win it, then that means, let's say, okay, let's go that route too. If one of these 5 teams, let's say, would win the first, get the first pick, let's say if Philadelphia wins the lottery this year, then that means in the next draft, they don't qualify for number 2. That's the way that would work. Right? I better be sure I'm saying is right. So yeah, if none of them have won lottery number 1, right. So if somebody wins lottery number 1, they're not in on lottery number 2. At least that's the way I understand it. And on that lovely note, folks, I'll see you later. Because this can get a little confusing. But it's good. We need to know especially us Sabres fans. Oh, and starting next year, something I should have marked down. I guess most of you know this. Starting next year, you cannot win the lottery more than twice in 5 years. You're not allowed. So let's say if next year New Jersey wins it, and then the next year New Jersey wins it again, and the next year New Jersey wins it again, they're not allowed. They forfeit it. They cannot win more than twice in that 5 years. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Anyway, I didn't mark it down. It's kind of old school news at this point. So, okay, that's it, guys. I'm going to kill that video there. I want to make one more later on and hopefully another one tonight. I want to put out a roll of videos today. So you guys, tell me how you're feeling about the lottery odds, guys. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I am. Even though I know like it's a little less. I think it's important we get number 1 because people are going to say, well, there's no franchise player out there. No, there isn't. But I guarantee you, there's a Hall of Famer in this draft. We just kind of, well, I guess we would need scouts to figure out who that is. But, when you look at it, if we get number 1, we can always trade down. Just saying. Get a second rounder out of it. Whatever. I don't know. Future consideration, something, I don't know, player or prospect. Who knows? Somebody might have their eyes really set on power. There's no way to know. But I just know one thing. Having the number 1 pick means you have all the cards. So you're going to get a lot of phone calls for number 1. Guaranteed. And there's something we can also throw in with an Eichel deal. Just saying. Should we do it? Probably not. But if we want to get rid of the Skinner contract, we gotta be a little aggressive this year. We do. And fearless. because I'd love to get that contract gone. Maybe talk to Seattle, see what we can swing with them. Who knows? Just saying, anything's possible. Because one of you guys had mentioned Seattle, and I agree with that too. That's a possibility. We got to look at possibilities. Okay, I'm rambling. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll come up with some idea for another video later on. But I've got a busy morning ahead. I'll see you folks later on tonight. Have a good one.